Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kara, and here we are in video 3 of our 4-part series, the video challenge of how to talk to your pet. And so we have covered the first 2 steps. Step 1 is laying the foundation. I taught you how to do a grounding cord, which is the very first thing everybody needs to do for their energy and their intuition. It just turns on your intuition because it quiets the mind. It turns off the fight or flight. If you haven't watched that video, go back and find the link to go and see that. It's on my blog at drkaragubbins.com. And you can do that. Start there. That's the best place to start. You'll get the best results if you start there. Step 2 is all about how do you send signals in communication. So communication is a two-way street. So what's the most effective, best way to send signals to an animal? And in this case, we're talking about your pets. And so I gave you 7 tools to use in order to really dial in and get super, super effective. The more specific you can be with your language and your communication, the more effective you're going to be everywhere in everything you do, but definitely with intuition. And that's part of what I teach in my class. I really help people get even more and more specific. So those 7 tools are designed to get more and more specific, more and more precise would be the right word, so that you can be really, really laser sharp focused on what you are saying to your pet. And then today we're going to get into step 3, which is becoming a good receiver for the communication. So communication, you have to send and you have to receive. Today we're going to talk about receiving. And just to recap who I am and what we're up to here, I'm Dr. Kara Gubbins, and I am the host of the Animal Wisdom World Summit. I'm the founder of the Animal Wisdom Circle, and I'm the creator of How to Talk to Your Pet, the proven 4-step system that teaches everyone and anyone to talk to their pets or to any animal. And this series of little mini lessons is really an overview of what I teach in my deeper classes. And I want to share it with you because I want to live in a world where everybody can communicate intuitively with animals, where animals are respected, where animals are honored, where animals have a voice. And so I can't talk to every animal, but you can talk to your animals, and the next person can talk to their animals. And pretty soon we're just going to blanket the whole planet in animal communicators, and it's going to be a paradigm shift for the entire world. So I'm so happy to have you on board with me. And let's get going, right? Oh, well, did I say already? Yeah, maybe I didn't. So this is a 4-part video series. You'll get an email and a link each day to the video with the lesson for that day. And, I really hope to see and hear about your breakthroughs and the amazing things that happen with you and your animals, and how you see yourself differently, how you see your animal differently, how you see your relationship differently. This is such a great way to experience the joy, the magic of being alive and being connected and using all of the stuff, all of the hardware that is hardwired into us that we're born with, that so many of us go through life not knowing how to use. So it's great when we get to, achieve our potential. And, I talked in the first video about my dream, and for so many years, most of my life, I dreamed of being able to communicate directly with animals. And it wasn't until I was in my mid-40s that I was able to do it. And then I, of course, quit my job because what could be better than talking to animals? And I started my own business. And so now I do intuitive readings for people and animals. I teach people classes how to do this. I do coaching with people, helping them apply animal wisdom and animal totems and spirit guides and all the great stuff out there in the world to their lives, to make their lives better. I want you guys to have the best life you can for yourself, and I want to help you create the best life possible for the animals that you love. So here we are, video 3 of 4, and we're going to be talking about how to receive intuitive information. So the question that I want to answer today is, a great question that I got in my Facebook group, and somebody asked me, how do animals communicate? Is it audio? Is it visual? Do they actually talk? And in the second video I told you, I think you're going to be surprised. The thing is that anybody can communicate on any level using any of the senses. And as the receiver, we're going to receive through whatever sense is our strength, our easiest way to receive. So animals may be sending you pictures and words and feelings, but you may at this point only be able to, sorry, there's a little bug right there. You may only be able to, because you're very visual, you may only be able to get images and hints of images. So you're only receiving on that one channel. And what I do in my class is I teach people how to receive on every channel. But for today, what I want you guys to know is, what is your psychic gift? What is your natural, easiest way to receive intuitive information, whether it's from your animals or just, in general, in the world, all the intuitive information that's out there? Because I want you to start from your strengths. It's so much easier to start with your strengths and then build up your other senses than it is to force yourself to use auditory senses if you're not an auditory person, if that's not your easiest way of getting information. So we're going to start with your strength, and I'm going to walk you through a guided meditation that will help you discover and experience your psychic gift, or, as I like to say, the channel that's easiest for you, the sense, the intuitive sense that is your strongest one. So let's start by taking a moment to just get quiet. If you are in a place where you can safely do so, then I want you to close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath and let it out. Set your grounding cord. So visualize that beam of light energy moving straight down from your first chakra, through the chair, through the floor, through the foundation of the building, into the earth, down through all the layers of the planet, until it reaches the very center of the planet. And once it gets there, either find or create a way to anchor it there. Once you've got that complete, keep your eyes closed, but bring your awareness and your focus up to your heart center. And we're going to take 3 nice, slow, deep breaths. They're going to ground us a little bit more, center us in our heart center, and quiet our mind. So we're going to be very open and receptive to whatever intuition comes to us. So as you inhale, I want you to visualize new energy coming in with your breath and going to your heart center. As you exhale, I want you to picture that energy now radiating out in every direction from your heart, filling your body, filling the space around you. Inhale again, new energy into your heart center. Exhaling, radiating that energy in every direction. Inhaling, new energy in. Exhaling, radiating that loving energy, filling up your body, filling up your aura, filling up the space around you with that beautiful energy. And now just allow yourself to breathe normally. And as you do, I want you to imagine that you're at a beach. Take a minute to really experience that beach. What's the first thing that you notice? How do you know you're at the beach? What else are you aware of now? Maybe, is there another sense giving you information about the beach, where it is, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. How are you naturally getting information about this beach? So once you've taken an inventory, think about what was the first thing that struck you about that beach. You can open your eyes again if you want. What was the first sense that you used? Did you hear seagulls? Did you hear the waves? Did you feel the sand under your toes? Maybe you felt a breeze. Maybe you saw an ocean. Maybe you just felt relaxed. I don't know. What was the first thing that you noticed? So whatever came to you first, through whichever sense that was, that is your primary intuitive sense. That is your psychic gift. And that's the easiest way for you to get intuitive information in any situation. It's your go-to, it's your default. My easiest way to get intuitive information is by images. I'm a very visual person. I'm a visual learner. I remember pages, what the page in the book looks like, where the information was that I read. So, or the picture that I saw. So I'm very visual. So the first thing when I do this exercise is I see sand and blue water. My daughter's very auditory. The first thing she might hear might be the birds or the wind rustling through the trees or something like that. So just notice which one you noticed first, and that is your primary intuitive sense. You may have noticed several things at once. That's fine. We tend to fall into visual, auditory, kinesthetic, which is clairsentient, and sometimes we just know stuff. And so those are what we call the four clairs, the four primary clairs: the clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and claircognizant. Claircognizance is sometimes the most challenging because we know something, but we don't know how we know it. We don't have an image. We don't have words that we hear. So if you're claircognizant and you just knew you were at the beach, just know that that's okay. That's a valid response. Even if you can't explain it and you don't have any evidence, you have that knowing, and that's claircognizant. So what I would like to invite you to do now is, when you are with the animal of your choice, I want you to start to, in your connection with them, start to pay attention to that primary intuitive sense that you have. So make it easy on yourself to receive the signals. You know, when I said earlier that you might be surprised at how animals send signals, they're using all of those channels. They may have a preference too. They may be stronger in auditory than they are in visual. But as the receiver, you can think of it as the waves are coming to us. The intuitive information is traveling on waves, and it comes to us in the most receptive way that we can get it. So we will grab that information in the way that it's easiest for us to grab it. So it's almost like, you know, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? Well, no, because the sound is created when those waves of energy reach us and they tickle our auditory nerve, and that's what creates the sound. So the sound exists within us. We may have also felt that if a tree falls in the woods, you know, we may have felt that energetic impact on our body, and then that would be a sentient thing, right? If it was intuition, that would be clairsentience. If we heard it intuitively, that would be clairaudience. If we saw the energy or saw the image of it happening, that would be clairvoyant. So start to really focus on whichever is your primary sense, even if it's different than what you were expecting, because that happens a lot. Sometimes because we're so used to it, we don't even notice that it's there. This little buggy is just coming around. So you may overlook it. You may think you're auditory, but it's because you don't even register the visual image that comes to you. So just trust that this exercise worked for you. Whatever is that primary mode or sense, just start focusing on that today. So when you're connecting with the animal of your choice and you're asking them a question like, what's your favorite food? Monitor that specific sense and see if anything comes to you. Maybe it'll be an image, maybe it'll be a word, maybe it'll be a feeling, maybe you'll just know like that's it. Use that sense and start to move forward from that place of strength, from that place of this is what works best for you, knowing that there's no sense that's right or wrong. There's no right way or wrong way to talk to animals. Animals do not communicate intuitively, only in one way. So if you're an auditory person, you don't have to learn how to see images, or if you're a visual person, you don't have to learn how to hear what they're saying auditorially. You can do it your way. So I want you to start doing it your way. This is your way of being in the world. This is your way of connecting into your intuition, and you're going to focus on the intuitive information that's coming from your pet, and you're going to focus on receiving it using your dominant sense, intuitive sense. In my How to Talk to Your Pet class, we start with that sense, and then we actually have tools and lessons. Come on, dude. We have tools and lessons, and we practice each one of those senses. So you can strengthen all of them so that no matter who you're talking to or connecting with intuitively, you are able to gather information using any of those senses. That's a little bit more advanced. For now, I want you to just go with your strength, go with what's easiest, and practice there. So that's your lesson for today, lesson 3. Already got 3 under your belt. I can't wait to hear how this goes. And if you're like me, there's some part of your brain that's going, yeah, it sounds good, but it's not going to work for me. For whatever reason you make up in your head, because I do this, like, oh yeah, it'll work for other people, but I don't think it's going to work for me. I want to just take a moment to say, everybody thinks that. We all think that it's going to work for somebody else, that intuition is too nebulous, it's too intuitive, it's too whatever, and it can't be taught, and we can't learn it, and it's not a skill that can be practiced. And it totally, totally is. It's very much like anything else. 2 + 2 is 4. If you do this, it will work. And I want to share with you a testimonial from one of my students who is a very left-brained, logical person, very concrete, very practical in regular life. And she wanted to be able to talk to her pet, her dog. And her fear was that she was just so left-brained, which is our side of our brain that's logical, linear, making sense of things, and that would get in the way of her intuition, which is right-brained, which is flowing, which is patterns, which is connections. It's not linear. It's any direction. And it ended up that she had the same objection. We all have the same objection whenever we try something new. Sure, it works for everybody else, but I don't think it's going to work for me. So this is Christine, and what she had to say was, I took this class to communicate with and be there for my dog Dorothy so I can take the best care of her. Before I started the class, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it, that I didn't have any special intuitive gift, and I was too left-brained. But I've talked to Dorothy. I have learned grounding cords, energy tools, and I've seen the results, just like you guys have already learned all this. This class has opened up a new view of the world for me. I've become so much more aware of all of the messages from the universe. She has been communicating with her dog Dorothy now for several months, and it's such a joy and a delight to see that she really could do it, and she really thought she was the least likely to succeed kind of out of the class, and she was one of the first to really get that clear communication from her dog and be able to act on it. And so she was really achieving her goal of taking the best possible care of her dog that she possibly could. And their relationship has just deepened and blossomed. And there's so much more trust and connection between them than there used to be. So if that's you, I just wanted to share that with you, because we all have these voices in our heads telling us why we can't succeed. And we have all kinds of reasons. We come up with all these reasons and none of them are true. So I just wanted to give you evidence of another person who thought she couldn't do it and she did. So the next video number 4, the fourth and final one, is to learn how to be the best possible receiver you can be. This is probably, becoming a good receiver is a little more complicated than becoming a good sender. It's a lot easier to become aware of what we're saying and the pictures we're sending and stuff than it is to kind of cut through all the crap that we've learned culturally, personally, internally, and just quiet our minds and become a good receiver. So the last 2 steps are all about becoming a better receiver. You now are a better receiver because you know the easiest way for you to receive your information. And then step 4, we're going to talk about how to become an even better receiver, how to turn off the monkey mind, how to turn up your intuition, practical tools that turn your intuition on and off automatically. And this is really, in the next video, we're going to address the question of how do I connect with animals so that I can talk to them. There's a lot of myths out there that you have to have eye contact, that you have to have heart-to-heart contact, that you have to jump through all these hoops, that it has to be complicated, you have to go through all these steps. And it's just not true. So we're going to bust some myths, but also acknowledging that, this is challenging for a lot of us, and we need a little extra help here. So it's 2 steps. There's the beginning steps, and then there's the more advanced steps. And then that's it. These are the 4 steps. This is everything you need to be able to talk to pets. So I do want to say that if you are interested in my How to Talk to Your Pet class, that's coming up starting September 24th. I have opened registration. It'll only be open for 6 days, and I have the link in the email that comes with this video today, so that you can, if you want, register. I've got some really good bonuses if you do register early, so you'll have to hop over there and see if that's calling to you. If not, that's great. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to keep paying off. A little bit every day, man, it's the way to go. Just do a little every day. Keep showing up, keep going, keep using these tools, and you will start to see results. So thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to hear about you and your connection with your animals and what they have to say to you, and how you start to incorporate these tools into your world and your life. And definitely, if my comments are working on my blog, my website seems to be very broken right now, but if they are, leave a comment about what is your psychic gifts, what is your primary sense, and how does knowing that help you communicate more effectively in 2-way intuitive communication with your pet. So have fun with this one. Good luck. Can't wait to hear about how it goes for you. And like I said in the last video, if the comments are still broken, come on over to the Facebook group, Animal Wisdom Circle, and join the conversation there. So have a great day, you guys, and I look forward to seeing you on video 4. Bye.